So in the last 48 hours, as we've seen what's happened over in America, um, has been quite eventful. Obviously, as we all know, um, a Ukrainian girl who was a refugee was stabbed on a bus in North Carolina, and a few moments after that, we get reports that Charlie Kirk, the infamous conservative commentator and influencer, was shot dead at a political event in Utah. Um, this to me was quite surprising about what happened to Mr. Kirk. I watched all of his videos. I thought the guy made perfect sense what he was talking about. Um, and I think it's a real tragedy that has happened to him. I think this is the turning point now. Even though his organization was called Turning Point USA, this is the turning point now that most people in the West should be tolerating the violent actions of the far left, the radical left, whatever you want to call them. But people are sick and tired anyway of what's happening in the world, in the West anyway. With all that's happening, but particularly people are now waking up to the fact that the left are a crowd of dangerous people. Not anybody who speaks out against what's going on. I mean, most people are now starting to wonder or believe whether whether Mr. Kirk was there were several forces, outside forces at play behind his death. And this, people might say it's a conspiracy theory now, but I'm beginning to think that this may not have just been lone wolf. I'd say there was a shooter that was identified, and the manhunt is still out there. These are the reports that I've heard anyway. But now I now think that this, people who are saying that this could, Israel, or it could be onto something. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but I think now people are beginning to wake up and actually discover that there's so much connectivity going on between the Democrats, Antifa, and all their supporters. People are now beginning to actually. What sickened me the most, I have to say, was the fact that nobody in the in the U.S. Congress and the European Parliament just a few hours ago refused to pay tribute to Mr. Kirk. Instead, they just had seen him as, and they were outraged that there were a few people actually, paying tribute to a man, ordinary guy, a young, bright, intelligent man who was also who was a family man. Think about this for a second, leftists. He is absolutely disgusting bunch of disgusting people. You're cheering over the death of a man who's now left behind a wife and two kids. So a father and a husband's now gone. Shame on yous. Shame on yous. This is the last time I'm ever gonna actually tolerate you people anymore. You absolutely sicken me. I was about to curse, but I'm not on this channel, but I'll just express this when I tell you this. Stay. If you are someone who believes somebody, regardless of their opinion, regardless of their political views, if you believe that somebody like that should be shot dead, like a targeted animal, then I don't know what to say. But I want to say this. R.I.P. Charlie. I'm gonna say a prayer for you, and you know, say a prayer for America right now. It's broken and needs healing. So yeah, R.I.P. Charlie.